Good afternoon, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you live from the home studio today on this 21st day of December in the year 2025. I wanted to join you tonight because of the reality that this situation on Kearny Avenue by Johnston Avenue is finally coming to a conclusion. The person who was responsible for the shooting of an arrow that killed a man last night is in custody, and he is being transported to a hospital for a mental evaluation. He has not been charged yet as this suspect, but he did eventually surrender to the Hudson County Regional SWAT team, which had been on scene for numerous hours in the overnight hours of last night going into this morning. A fire broke out, as most of you know by now, in the early morning hours this morning, and it is believed that the same suspect who will eventually be charged with the killing of this poor man on Kearny Avenue will probably be charged as well with the starting of that fire. So there are more than likely going to be some significant arson charges that will also be forthcoming. However, because there was a mental health crisis involved with this, the suspect has not yet been charged, but he will be. Make no mistake about it. I had a chance to speak with Kearny Police Chief Scott McPhee just a few minutes ago, and charges are absolutely forthcoming. So that's very important to know. It's just so that nobody thinks that this guy is going to get away with it because there was a mental health crisis. He will be charged accordingly in due time. This situation, as horrifying as it is, could have been so much worse than it was, were it not for the first responders that we have in the town of Kearny. Whether you start with the police department, who dealt with this situation first, and then the fire, which brought out so many firefighters from Kearny, Harrison, East Newark, North Arlington, Belleville, Jersey City. I could go on. There were probably significantly more fire departments that were on the scene putting out this fire. And imagine putting out a fire, if you're a firefighter, while the SWAT team is positioned behind barricades and shields. And that's exactly what this fire department did this morning when they put out that fire. And so if you take the combined work of the Kearny Police Department under Chief Scott McPhee, the Kearny Fire Department under Chief Joe Mastandrea, and the Hudson County Regional SWAT team, which we've got several guys on. Brian San Martin, who I saw today, was an investigator. He was there, and a whole bunch of the SWAT team members were on scene today for 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18 hours, depending on who. We have it made here. We are very lucky, all things considered. What could have happened over the last 24 hours or so, but didn't. Yes, one person tragically lost his life. It was horrible. And somebody actually went out and put a photo on social media of the guy who was shot with the bow and arrow. It's just mind-boggling that somebody would actually think that was the right thing to do. And people just sitting around and looking at it. But that's not why we're here today. We'll discuss that another day. The reality is the person responsible for all of this today is finally in custody. He's going to a hospital for an evaluation, and he will be charged. There is nothing official yet on who it is, and hopefully we'll find out what his motive was, to shoot somebody in the back. I don't know. I just can't even fathom that. But hopefully we'll get some kind of clarity in the coming weeks. And as soon as we know anything about it, we will be the first to let you know once we get that word. But the bottom line is this guy is in custody, and this nightmare that started around the 7 o'clock hour last night has finally come to a conclusion, although the work is only just beginning for investigators and for the Bureau of Combustibles and the fire inspectors, who will have to go through and meticulously comb through all the evidence to get to the conclusion where the fire started, things of that nature. So their work is only just beginning. But if we hear anything else during the course of today, we will certainly let you know, and we will have a recap in this week's edition of The Observer. And again, to all of the first responders, many of whom were out there for 15 plus hours in the last day, there's nothing other than thank you that is appropriate for the work that they did in keeping the scene very safe and keeping a situation that could have been just utterly horrific from being hardly as bad as it certainly could have been. So thank you to all of the men and women who are out there battling this cold weather too. Let's not forget that. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for right now. Again, we'll come back if we find anything else in the coming hours. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays, everybody. Take care, be safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.